Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about what are those marriage assumptions that so many of you may have. Yeah, are they true? Are they false? Are they myths? Let's get talking. I've been married for about, coming to 7 years now. Marriage is beautiful, it is. But there are expectations and assumptions that I also had before I entered marriage that I just thought, this is how things are going to go. But it's not always like that. So the first assumption, and you know it, having sex all the time. For some reason, when you're single, you feel like, especially if you're waiting, you're Christian, you're abstaining, you're so excited. You're just like, when I enter marriage, we're going to be chowing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 times a day. Is that even true? It's not true, guys. I don't know who didn't warn me. So you find that you're not having sex all the time. You're busy, you have kids, you have work. It can't happen all the time. But every day is a lie. Honestly, my thought, married people, they're always having sex. And for some reason, when you're single, you're dying to have sex. Then you reach marriage. Women don't want to have sex in marriage. Excuses. I have a headache. Something is paining me. It's itching here. Excuse after excuse after excuse. So that's one of the things that just hit me, that you cannot have sex every day. And also in terms of sleeping with one another, as you come together, I thought like would always be cuddly, you sleep like holding each other. In the movies how they sleep. The guys, you're lying on his chest. Oh, wow. You're even hot, like first, everyone sleeps those ends. And it's not that you don't love each other. You love each other, but it's just not possible for you to always be cuddling. You sleep while cuddling. No, it gets hot. You want some space. You're like, so everyone turns the other side. Steve turns the other side. I also turn my side because even you have a sleeping side, I sleep mainly on this side, on the right side, And then Steve also faces the other side. So you just like, good night, all right. Until the morning, good morning, So that is married life. So sometimes we have this perception from movies that you're always going to be together, cuddling, and that's not the case. But it doesn't mean you don't love each other. So that's the second point I wanted to tell you about. The next assumption that people have about marriage is that this person is going to change. For some reason, people think that once you say, I do, you guys teleport into a new world. All of a sudden, this guy is going to be different from who he was when you were dating. Lies. In fact, you've said I do. All those things that you've been seeing, you don't like so much, they're just going to manifest and just reveal their true nature, So please, don't date someone and then you think that, I think if he marries me, I can change him when we enter marriage. You cannot change anyone. People change because they want to change. The Holy Spirit has touched them and now they feel like, let me change for the better. But otherwise, we will remain who we are or even become worse. And that brings me to my next point. The things you see in your partner that you really, really love, those are some of the things that are going to irk you the most when you enter marriage. For some reason, I don't know, For example, I loved that Steve was generous. I'm like, he gives you money. You want to go bungee jumping, he gives you. I think I was on campus. That money for bungee jumping, how much it is? I was just like, This guy is just, So of course you get married and you begin to realize that, he's actually generous. Not to you only, to everyone. Steve, and for some reason, I don't know why people think he has all that time. Steve, I need like a 2M. 2M. And he's willing to give that 2M. I'm just like, sir, excuse me, So those are things that can begin to shake you a bit. So those things that you feel that you're loving about this person, they're nice, but sometimes in marriage they can begin to, cause you jitters if you do not actually talk about them. So we enter marriage feeling like because we love one another, everything is going to work out so well, yeah. But as you begin to see, you begin to realize that certain conversations have to be had, certain things need to stop. That was for your singlehood, yeah. But now as we enter marriage, we need to have some sort of one accord, yeah. So you're not going to teleport into a new world. You're going to remain the way you are, but if you desire to change and God is working in you, then you will change for the better, yeah. So even as I talk about that, I think I've touched on to that point of just because you love one another, things are going to be easy. And I see many people, you've seen red flags, but you're like, but we love one another, you know. It's not going to be easy. If you do not work on that marriage, like deliberately, let me tell you, I keep telling people, I'm always reading books on marriage, always watching YouTube videos on marriage, always praying for the marriage because, yeah, it's a lot of work. So don't enter marriage thinking just because you love one another, it's going to be easy. No. Ups and downs, ups and downs. And that's the beauty about marriage. You get, you know, working on those things. It's that institution that kind of chisels you because it's a reflection of the church and God, you know. So you have to keep working on it. Yeah. So that's the other assumption that people have, that a fond is not true. It's not easy. It just takes a lot of work, but it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah, that's the other assumption. The other one I want to talk about is also, I thought when you enter marriage, you know, you've come, your best friends, you know, your best friends, you're going to be together all the time. And let me tell you, I really struggled with this thing. If there are, you know, sanguines out there, people who love to be, you know, in company with people, you feel like I have found my life partner. So that means everywhere we go, handbag, you get and then you marry this person. Like Steve is introverted, he likes, you know, his quiet time, his space, so he can't be with you all the time. I felt like at some point I was starting to choke him, you know, where are you going? I come, we go, let's as much as you've come together and you are one, you're individuals, yeah, in the institution, so you need to also kind of respect that. So I found that I struggled a lot because I thought, let's be together all the time. And that's not possible. So even along the journey, I've learned to enjoy my own company so that he also has an independent, you know, his own things. I also have my own things, and then we come together and also do things together, yeah. Because it's also important to do that stuff together. So you notice, like after honeymoon, especially in the first years, you will always want to be with each other because of the kafaya. You guys know the kafaya. Oh my God, you're just feeling like, and also the butterflies are still there. And that's another thing. People always think that those butterflies will be there. And in the first years, they will be there because you're still excited, you're on fire for each other. But as time goes on, Steve calls it mature love. It's like, you love me, I love you, but it's not that every time butterflies, but you know, so I learned that, I've got to give Steve space. I still love him. In fact, the love is even growing so much more, but then we'll not be together all the time. He's an individual and he needs some time to breathe. As a sanguine, I don't understand that, but I have learned to understand that. Yeah, so you'll not be with your spouse all the time. Maybe if you're working together, you'll see each other, but all of you need some time to just pause, reflect, do life with other people as well, but also ensuring that you spend some time together. Again, don't say, auntie, we have to be individuals and then you're always apart. No, always look for those activities that put you together, that bring you together, that cause conversation, and just enjoying each other's company. That is a given, yeah? But do not think that everywhere where Mr. goes, you will go. Everywhere where Mrs. goes, you will go, you know, just allow each other. Yeah, that's the other assumption. Light bulb moments with Lisa. Did you know that having cotton bed sheets in neutral colors helps spice up the art of lovemaking? The challenge, you have green and red bed sheets. The solution to your challenge is easy. Just contact Femme de Velour to get you quality, amazing, neutral beddings. Thank me later or now. So the other assumption that people have in marriage is that once you get married, this person is going to meet your every need. They are going to make you happy. Like they are the path to happiness. Yeah. Oh, Manangi. Guy assumed. Let me know in the comment section. Did you ever assume that marriage will make you this happy and it's the root that causes happiness. I found that that is such a lie. Let me tell you, if you do not derive happiness from the only thing that brings that ultimate fulfillment and joy everlasting is God. Our partners are flawed. Even us, we are flawed. Like, they will not meet our every need. They will not meet our every desire because they are human and they will fail. Your partner is going to fail, and that's the truth. But you just have to look at it as we are all being worked on. God is working in us. We're all being transformed. So along the journey, in that process, there will be failures. He will not meet your standards, and it can be such a hard thing to bear, especially if you've come with this whole perception of he's perfect. I love him so much. Marriage is going to bring me happiness. Yeah. That is not true. I remember on my wedding, let me tell you, I thought I would cry, but I didn't. I was just like, I've left home. You've left home, you used to do a lot of housework. What? You're just like this for not understanding me. Me now, let me go to my home. I was like, peace, guys, see you, And then now you come, now you have to even start managing. You're not now managing, So marriage in itself cannot bring ultimate joy. It will make you happy, but the element and the process of chiseling you, because that's what God is doing. Every time you come into a marriage, He's working in you, and all those things have to be cut off. So your own desires have to be cut off. That selfishness, you have to give up, yourself for the other person. Let me tell you, it's not funny. It's not funny. Yeah, sometimes you're just like, but really, why? Because we want what we want. And in marriage, you have to give some of those things up. So marriage in itself is not going to cause you ultimate joy. But if you do it God's way, it will bring happiness. Like, happiness is a result of dying to self, of serving, and things like that. So the things I was running away from at my home, my friend, I found them in marriage properly now, because everyone is looking at you. Food. What are we eating? Now you have to think about all these things. Or your husband, you have to help him find his clothes and his socks and organize for him and plan for him. It's a whole workload, let me tell you. So you need to be able to just understand your role as a helper, accept it, and then enjoy the beauty that comes in marriage. So no, marriage in itself is not going to bring ultimate happiness. This person does not fulfill you. Only God can. So just calm down with those expectations, but allow this guy to just love you the best way that he can. Remove those high expectations. So the other assumption is that because you love each other, you'll not be arguing. I mean, because in dating, I don't remember ever arguing or fighting with Steve in any way. We're just like happy. Of course, you disagree here and there, like, that's your point of view, this is mine, but we just didn't ever. And you would think that because that's how you've been in dating, definitely when you reach marriage, it's going to be a walk in the park. There's no arguing, there's no quarreling, there's no conflict at all, which is a lie. Now, of course, you can handle conflict better in marriage if you understand one another better, but you will not agree. It might even be finances. You'll find that I'm a spender. I've talked about this a lot. I'm a spender. Steve is a giver. So you'll find that, guy, you're spending a bit too much here, or, and things like that. So you'll find that there'll be a bit of conflict. So you need to be aware of, just because you love him and he looks like, and she looks like, the perfect person, as you go into marriage, you begin to see that, they have so many flaws. You don't, especially if you're not staying with each other. When you're not staying with one another, everything is kawa. And then you begin staying with this person and they nag you like a problem. You're just like, what was I thinking? So just go with that in mind. Your differences bring you together. So they should be looked at as joys, because if unlike poles actually attract. So work on those things that cause you conflict, talk about them, but be aware that conflict will happen. Just make sure that you've set certain boundaries. We don't shout at one another. We don't stop talking to one another. Those things of you're not talking for a week. Set those boundaries early so that it helps you manage conflict better. But the conflict will come, especially around finances. It will happen even about friends. So many things. Parenting. Let me tell you, parenting can bring so much conflict. But just be aware that you're on the same team. You're trying to do this thing together, and don't look at each other as opponents. That's the only way you sail through it. But you will argue, you may disagree, but it's all good. It's part of the process, of becoming better. So just go with that mentality of putting the other person first. I think for me, that's what I've learned. Putting the other person first, and then you begin to see, the way they see things, you see it in their shoes, and then you'll be more open to accepting their will. So that's the assumption, that you will not argue. It is false. My final assumption is people think that when you enter marriage, it's like a prison. People are saying you'll be limited, the way you do things is limited. It's like you can't do life just because you're in a marriage. Now that is actually very, very false, guys. And I think the issue comes in when people think that because you always have to ask for permission. And I don't think it's asking for permission when you enter marriage. I think it's just having accountability, holding each other accountable, just because you've lived 20 years, you've been single, you're used to just doing your things. You wake up, you go anywhere you want, Now that you've come into marriage, I think it's just informing the other person, just holding them in regard and saying, oh, Lisa, I'm going to see the boys, You're just telling me, I'll be back late. It's not that you're asking for permission, but you're just kind of putting me in the know. Do you get it? Because it feels like, all right, that person thought of me. Maybe even I had plans, like it causes even further discussion. So it's not that you're in a prison, it's just holding each other accountable. Because as you work together, you want to make sure that you're working in agreement, So it's not that before I buy anything, I have to say, Steve, I'm going to buy this. Should I, please? No. That's not how it works in marriage, Healthy marriages, that is, I have to put the disclaimer. So it's just, talking about these things and letting your partner know. I remember, I think is it a month ago or 2 weeks ago, Steve came back home and then he was like, man, I'm from Ginger. I was like, pardon? You went to a whole other district and didn't let me know. It's like, at its work, it's like as usual, it's like, I was like, yeah, of course, but this is a whole other district. If in Ginger something happened, like there's an explosion in Ginger, I'd be like, oh dear, so sorry about Ginger, guys. Come here, you guys in Ginger. You should be on your knees, do you get? So we have to keep reminding one another that, okay, just, let me know. Ginger is a bit extreme, like it's far, So, and it's hard if you've been doing your things. You're independent when you come now and have to tell someone that this is what I'm doing. It can be a process. It takes time. You see, even 7 years in, Steve sometimes forgets, It's just that me, I am very, ladies, we are talkative. I give you the day, how the day went, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, without missing anything, in a single thing. But guys will be like, the day was Kawa. Kumbe, he was in Ginger. Please. So it's not like a prison. And of course, we have to have discussions on if it's like huge things. You can't just give out 3 million. You can't just inform me about giving out 3 million, Please, we have to discuss, does it fit in our budget, and things like that. Let me tell you, for me, I found beauty in doing life with someone. That's what it means to do life together, is that you hold each other accountable. There are no gray areas, and things like that. So if someone says, I saw James in Mukono with some, he was at a work meeting, it's nothing taking you by surprise. You're not like, he didn't tell me, Atemba, he forgot. No, it's just talking with one another and understanding that we're doing life together as a team. We need to hold each other accountable, to just know what's going on in each other's life, because you've said you're best friends. Haven't you said you're best friends? So let's keep that in mind as we walk the journey of marriage. So it's not a prison. You're allowed to be you in a healthy marriage. But I know there are so many marriages where, men have used this whole submission thing in a very wrong way, where you have to ask for permission before you go and see your friends. You have to, where are you? You are Javas? Why? Where? When? Which? It becomes, it's a bit, bad. But those things you see when you're dating. You see them, but then you say you're in love. So please, if you're in love, real love properly. So when he asks you for permission and he's asking for permission, please accept that, because that's what you chose, So in a healthy marriage, it's okay to have accountability, inform your wife where you're going to be, inform your husband where you're going, and it will just, help the marriage to thrive. So those have been some of my assumptions. Before I forget, I thought I would let you know that I am here at the very beautiful Serene Beauty. They have a beautiful space where brides can take, photo shoots. After they have done your amazing makeup, you come here, the room is, it will add that pop in your photo album. So please check out Serene Beauty and book your appointment with them if you're going to be a bride soon. All right, so I hope you found value in the video. Let me know some of the things in the comments that you found, about marriage. Were there some expectations, you had, and what has been the effects? Have they changed, and have you seen different? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video and share it with all your friends, especially those ones that are going to get married soon, so that they know what to expect. My name is Kusiima, and as always, I'm here to inspire.